Our next speaker, all right, he's going to talk to us today about building community. And oh my God, I got to say the reason that we're connected is community. Because of community with Nancy Matthews and community with Joe. And literally then we went like, wow, we're connected. And then we had a nice conversation and been on, this is her second time to speak, as well as she's been on my podcast. We've done a couple other things together online. And I got to say, Regena Rosa Celeste has become one of those unique people in our community as well. And I'm so thankful to have her and have her come on. Hello, gorgeous.
Hi, good morning or afternoon. How are you?
Is it? Oh, that's right. It's afternoon for you.
It's noon. Yep, on the East Coast.
Yep. So you're going to share community with him today, right?
I am, and I have to say, I'm a little teary-eyed because when I see you and Joe, it brings me so much joy to see what I get to be part of. And you guys are just amazing, amazing guys, and you are both on a mission to really change the world. Obviously, you're doing it, and I love that. And you guys inspire me, and I feel really blessed that I get to be part of communities like this, and I am excited to help all of our communities grow because we're all here to make a difference. If we're here, we're here to make a difference, right?
That's right. That's right.
It's pretty awesome.
Cool. Yeah. So you have any slides today, or are you just doing it solo?
I do. I have a few slides. Yep.
All right.
Yep. Oh. And Joe, good job on the website. He's probably offline now, but
he's actually down. He's still down in the green room listening because he wanted to see you start.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I just submitted an app. I don't know if I'll be able to speak for the event, but I'm actually flying up from Florida down from Florida for the event. Very excited.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a great event.
Cool. So we'll submit your slides so I can make sure I can get them up there for you.
Cool. So I share my screen, yeah?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Thanks for the reminder.
Yep.
I use this and I forget sometimes.
All right. So I'm going to put you on the clock, girl, and it's all up to you.
Cool. All right. 20 minutes, right?
25. You got 25. Right. So
25. Okay. Thanks, Tim. All right. So good afternoon, everyone. When I thought about what to share today, I thought to myself, what is it that is most important about community? Like, really, what is it and why is it important? And I think I'm not the only one that would agree that right now in our interesting times of life, community really is everything. And without community, we can only achieve so much. And I'll share with you a little bit about my story. I'll share a little bit about how I got to do the work that I do now. But more importantly, I want to share what community can do for you, because really, that's what this is all about, is how can we lean into community and allow the support of other people to help us be, I believe, our best selves. And my name is Regena Rosa Celeste. And I'd like to share with you that a couple years ago, not too long ago, just about 2 years ago, I had fallen face down on my face, as I like to say. I broke down, and I wouldn't say necessarily a midlife crisis, because I'm not even 40 yet. I'll be 40 next January. But I did get the gift of feeling all of these amazing emotions and really crippled by fear. And maybe you've been in that place before where you felt depressed or shame around your life or around a specific situation, or maybe you felt guilty, or you felt frustrated, or maybe you just felt all of it. Right? Maybe it wasn't that recent, or maybe it was, right? And so I was really, really grateful, not at the time, but obviously now being on the other side of it. This was something that had happened to me more than once, where I got so depressed that I actually thought about not being around anymore. And I thought, who's going to care, right? I thought, are my parents, really my family's the only people that are going to really care, right? What if my friends are already doing their own thing? A lot of them are married, they have kids, might be on their third or fourth divorce at this point. But I had all these shame stories going on in my head, and I share that with you not to be gloomy, but just to share with you the impact and the intensity of what I was dealing with. And this had happened once before, about 5 years ago. I had hit rock bottom, and I had a pretty healthy life. I mean, I had work that I liked, I had friends, I had family, but I just wasn't happy. Something within me was really struggling. And I was fortunate enough that I got to see what I like to say as my demons. I got to meet them one to one. And what happened through that experience was that I wanted to find the answer. And I went on a quest, and I actually did leave the area that I was living. I went on what I call my vision quest. I ended up moving out west to Montana to what I thought was find inner peace. And it's, it's kind of funny, right? Because this inner peace thought, for a lot of people, when I started asking myself and I started interviewing other people and asking what is inner peace, and what I got was all kinds of different answers. But the main thing that came true for me was the feeling of knowing that that moment, or those moments, right, the tapestry of those moments of inner peace, begin the moment you choose not to let another person or event control your emotions. Can anyone relate to that? Right now in our life, with all the amazing crazy situations that are happening, there's a lot of turmoil, right? There's a lot of conversations going on and bickering and people disagreeing, and we can call it politics or we can call it not. Doesn't matter. The point is that we still all deserve what I call USA. Say it with me. USA. It just feels really yummy to say it, doesn't it? And it sounds really cool. Sounds super easy. Just cross your legs and, meditate. But the reality is it's not that easy, right? When your kids are screaming at you and, your husband pisses you off, or your wife is upset at you, or you are upset at her, or you lost the contract, or, your neighbor is doing something on your lawn that you told them not to do 10 times. Life can get overwhelming, right? And so you might be asking yourself, what is all this for? And why am I doing it in the first place? And you might be like this guy over here that's just running the race and just going through the motions. And you might even have gotten to a point where you just said, you know what, screw this all. And I'm going to just hit the delete button, and I'm going to start over. I'm going to, sell the hamster wheel and just let it all go. And I thought about that, and, on a kind of extreme level. But the truth is life continues, right? And you might get a new wife or a new dog or a new job, right? But life's still going to happen, right? There's still going to be someone that pisses you off, or you piss them off, or someone upsets you, right? Or something better, the government, right? The government shows up and says, everybody put on your mask, and people don't know what to do. Some of us are wearing them, some of us aren't, right? And I was about to put up a slide on here that had a roll of toilet paper, right? And this is where I love how community fits in, because the reality is we all understood what that meant, right? Whether you're in Africa or you're in the United States of America, there was this big conversation about limited resources, to the point where toilet paper was running off the shelves in America, for goodness sake. One of the most wealthy, affluent, biggest countries on the planet by most people's standards, right? When we go to other places, people want to learn how to speak English. But yet we, Americans, were running out of toilet paper. It makes you just stop and scratch your head, right? So what happens is you can either band together and you can become part of your community, looking for ways to support each other, or you can isolate yourself. And a lot of people do, right? They do isolate themselves, which is what I did several years ago. And then I did it again several years later. And what I found the second time was that if it wasn't for community, if it wasn't for my friends, and it wasn't for my coaches and my therapists and those people that I reached out to, those that I knew I could trust, there's no way in heck that I would have been able to be standing here, or I'm sitting technically, but sharing with you now on the other side. And now I'm working on speaking, and I'm sharing my story with community, and I'm being what some people call a beacon of light. And the reason is because people need each other. And so I invite you to become the beacon for your community. If you're part of a church group or a temple, or you have a small book club with 5 friends or 2 friends, right? Community doesn't have to be thousands and thousands of people. Community can be as small as 5 or 2, right? There's a saying that when 2 or more people come together, a third mind is created. So nobody said that you have to be, full of thousands of people, even though the magic of that is pretty powerful. I mean, if you look at Tim and you look at Joe and you look at some of the other amazing leaders that are going to be on the show later today, you're going to see that the ripple effect is powerful because we can all relate to feeling something in common. And if you are with me and that makes sense, go ahead and, drop a thought below. And, this isn't about me, right? But I just want to share with you a little bit about what I'm up to now. And I'm a woman on a mission. I'm on a mission to change the way the world experiences peace from the inside out. And I get to speak, I get to write, and I get to lead people in transforming themselves so that they can be the best version of themselves so that they can lead other people. And it wasn't easy. It was a really hard road. And like I said, I got to really, really get to know my demons. I mean, we were like this, super, super close. And what was amazing about all that is that now I'm working on a TEDx talk. I'm published in, multiple places, and I get to teach and train people on this conversation. And it's powerful. It's powerful because transformation starts from the inside out. It starts from you deciding. And so if you have a pen and paper, I'd love to have you join me in this little exercise. And this is what I call let's create peace together. And what I want to actually add here that I didn't was let's create peace together for our community. And the reason is because when we each create peace for ourselves, I truly believe we create peace for each other. And that's to me what community is all about. It's about being my best self so that I can be the best for Tim's community, for Joe's community. So I can be the best for my neighbors, for my clients, for my friends. And, it doesn't have to be such a huge scale. It can be small. But the truth is once you start small, it just becomes fun, right? Because you get to impact more people. And so for me, P is practicing being a person of light, right? Person of being inspired by what other people are doing. And that means I get to practice being in community. I get to practice sharing my story. And I do that so that I can elevate. I can elevate not just myself, but I can elevate the people around me. I can elevate my community, my neighbors, my friends, my family, my students. I can elevate everyone by being a better version of myself. And then accelerate. And this one is really important because especially like right now, right? There's a lot of people that are not here with us today. And we can't force them, right? But we can encourage them. And we can support them by helping them accelerate their success. Might not be easy. In fact, they might not want to. They might kick and scream. But if there's even the smallest little inkling of desire within a person to grow and change, they'll find a way. And you might even be that person. You might have a goal within you or desire to speak more and to share your story. And by seeing other people accelerating on their mission, you can do the same. Now, I will caution, there is a C that I didn't list on here, and that's called comparisitis. And this is really, really, really important in community, is when you're out and you're doing your work and you're speaking and you're coaching or whatever it is that you're doing, it's really important to have compassion with yourself. Because if you're not compassionate with yourself, you might fall into comparisitis. And you might say, oh, well, look what Tim's doing. And oh, look what Joe's doing. And oh, look what so-and-so's doing. And that's not what you want to do unless you're coming from, oh my gosh, look what they're doing. right? Like, can you tell the difference in the way that I said it? It's the same thought. Oh, excuse me. It's the same words, but with a totally different essence, with a totally different energy, right? And those that know me know that I'm all about energy, and I'm all about enjoyment and life and living a full, rich, authentic, and abundant life. And that doesn't mean things are going to be perfect, but that certainly means that you get to live a great life. And the only way to do that is to be reminded of where you are and where you want to go. And I love this diagram because it's a really cool visual for me of, helping support people on their path, right? And if you don't know where you're going, or if you don't know where you are, you might never know where you're going, right? You might end up, trying to go from here to California, right here being Florida, which is where I'm at. You might be trying to go from Florida to California, but if you don't have a map and if you have a timeline, you probably want to get an idea of what's up there. So this is a great little, visual that I use in supporting people. And I often refer to it even myself. And remember, I told you in the beginning, this is where I started, right? And it all starts with a decision. So you get to choose, where do you want to be 6 months from now, or a year from now, or 5 years from now, right? I love what Tim was sharing about, he's got a goal and he's going to be helping kids, right? And everybody hurts sometimes. I won't go into it today just because, we don't have a lot of time, but this is my dad. He had brain surgery last year. And at the same time, my mom had cancer for the second time. And I'll tell you, there's days it's not rosy still, but it's been a great path. And thank you to community, because community's been amazing. We had times where we weren't sure if we were going to be able to pay the mortgage. And because of community, we were able to. And now we get to give back in different ways. So if you're feeling something, if you're feeling some pain, know that we're all in the same game. We're just on different levels and dealing with the same hell, just different devils. So my suggestion, my ask for you is to get to know your demons so that you can get to a different place. You can be within the magic, because the magic is in the miracles. And now I have my own community that I've built called the Internal Peace Renegades. And I love being not just a leader in my community, but I love leading and being part of other people's communities, like Tim's community and Joe's community, right? We're all in this together and we're all here to serve. And so I ask, what would your life look like if you had better relationships and you had, a better world because of who you were? If you could have a little bit more peace than you did yesterday? Because the only person that you should really try to be better than, I believe, is the person you were yesterday. And some people ask, do I really have to choose? I don't think so. I personally think you can have it all. You can create a great life the moment you decide. And that's what I get to do. This is a little bit about some of the people that I've gotten to work with. And, I don't like to brag about myself, so I will move on this one fast. But again, I thank Tim so much for having me on today and allowing me to share with you guys a little bit about who I am and what I'm all about. And I love speaking with people. I love helping support them in their missions. And I'm going to go ahead and close this up, come right back here. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, if there's anything I can do to support you, community really is, for me, it's been something I've really leaned into because I feel the power of community. I feel the essence of what community can create. But like anything, if you get what you give, right? So if you're stingy, as I call it, like I used to be, and holding everything to myself because I was afraid of what people thought about me, what happens if people judged me? Well, guess what? Some people are going to judge you no matter what. And the truth is they're judging themselves, not you. That's where the comparisitis comes in. So my suggestion is, don't judge yourself. Be the best version of you that you can, and lean into community. See what you can give, and then you'll receive. Givers gain, right? And I'd love to be of support to anyone that I can. On Monday, I'm doing a free webinar. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll share more info. So Tim, thanks so much for having me. I might be a little bit early, but
Hey,
better early than late, right?
you do a great job every time. That's why I keep bringing you back.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Cool. So, guys, any questions that you want to put in there? I see we had a lot of comments and stuff. Larry asked that something here. 34 sounds like my dad. He had it for himself.
3 or 4 what, Larry?
For your dad. I think he was asking about your dad, wasn't he? 34. Oh.
Well, my dad had a brain tumor removed, and then it actually came back, and then we had him on radiation for like almost a month and a half. Oh, yeah, I totally agree, Katrina. Other people's urgency is not my own. And there's another one that I got that I love, which is a person's lack of preparation on their part doesn't constitute an emergency on mine.
Yeah.
But that's
I have several of those that I actually used to use over the years, but I used them with a little more foul language before I grew up.
We all have to learn, right?
Yeah. So I love it. Something else Katrina brought up here that allows me to make sure to prioritize myself and my family first, not others. So I love that. And then talking about yourself and your accomplishments is not always bragging. You're right. It's not always bragging. So
thank you, Katrina.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, well, Regina, did you tell them that, you got a webinar coming up, right? You told them about that this time, so they can go find out what the address was.
Yeah. I didn't want to be out of sorts, but it's internalpeacenow.com/webinar.
Cool.
And I'll be sharing some never revealed tips on how to access internal peace. I'm super excited.
Well, I appreciate you coming by here today. All right, everybody, give her a round of applause. All right, and go check her out, and thank you. I do this to you.
Thanks, Tim. I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.